All right, here we go. Switch over to that. Welcome, everyone. Let me admit the people to Zoom, which disappeared on me. There we go. Admit all. How's everyone doing today? Happy Friday.
Hello, hello, hello.
So sometimes I feel like we're time traveling because I don't know how it can be Friday already again.
It's so quick, right? That's right. Yeah. How's everybody?
Terrific.
Awesome.
I'll be better after I get my second cup of coffee, which I'm making now.
Share, make sure you share, Connie. It's not fair to not share.
It was so weird for me today because I have my cup empty here. I had coffee supposedly, but I don't remember when I had coffee. And I'm sure I made
funny.
coffee this
Yeah.
morning. So I was like, when in hell did I actually did that? So yeah, it was funny.
I'm a big coffee drinker. I go through a pot a day. Maybe someone needs to mute anyway. Oh, hey, there's Hellbent. Awesome.
Hey, Helban. How's it going?
Isaias, on our tool that we're working on. Yo, no, you solved it.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. I cannot hear you. There's this. Hello. So,
Yeah, it's a terrible sound.
yeah,
You sound like you're in the North
I
Pole.
think it's good, right?
Am I causing you trouble?
No, I mean, like, there's kind of like a, but I think it is, yeah, from that. Can you mute that?
I'm gonna see if I can mute me.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. Zoom is really weird today and how it's laid out. Scott, I'm going to mute you just to see if we can
Please.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there's something. It didn't sound like feedback normally, but
no, yeah, it sounds like something is interfering, right? Causing interference.
Perhaps if you have a phone handy, you could call the dial-in number, and we can at a different time figure out, what's going on with your actual audio settings.
Yeah. So
Welcome
everybody.
So Isaiah, what I was going to ask about was, and for fun, why don't you start up our, you haven't renamed it yet, which it's okay. It's our QAP knockoff, right? Because I've been wanting this tool for quite a while to have a simpler version of QAP where we're just doing snippets, and
right.
It's just snippets, but we have hot strings and hotkeys to trigger the snippets, and then a GUI, obviously. And so we were working on making it simple to have the icons in there. And that's when I saw Hellbent, I remembered we had said maybe he had something, but I think you've already solved the grabbing the image and shoving it into the base 64 encoding, right?
Yes, that's right. That's what we were working with. Yeah, so basically, this is the main interface for the GUI. Well, not for the GUI itself. It's kind of like where you will manage your menus. So the idea is similar to QAP, but we're definitely trying to just make it as simple as possible. We removed many features. We're just focusing on just one thing, right? Yeah, so here's the thing. We can add items. So you start with text snippets, and you can set icons to it, to each of them as well. So we're going to start with this text snippet. Let's go ahead and set up an icon. Could be anything, really. And you had a bunch of icons out here. Let's just use one, supposedly a helicopter. Let's name this guy Heli. And let's say this is a helicopter, right? Now, this is the string that is going to be sent or replaced. This is going to be a label for the menu. You will see it in a second. But as Joe said, for this text replacement, we could either choose a hot string or a hotkey. So let's start with none for now. The icon, as soon as you select it, is going to become 64-bit encoded. And that means that if I share my menu with you, you're not going to have to worry about, oh, I don't have that icon. Right. That's going to be saved as well. So now we created one of the options here. I hit menus to save the menu. And if I press Control F12, now I have a menu that has this option. But here's the part. So when I hit that menu item, whatever text I had there is going to be shown there. It's kind of like a snippet saver. It's just in menus, because now, say for example that you want to create a sub menu. It's kind of like a folder, if you will. Let's have this. Let's keep it like that. The label is going to be, for example, anything that has to do with ChatGPT, for example, if you want prompts in there. So now I have a submenu, and you will notice that submenus show up here in a tree view. So here on the right side, you will see all whatever you have saved. On the left, you will see the structure of your menu. Let's save that real quick. And as soon as you press Control 12, you will notice that now I have a sub menu, a subfolder there, which is going to contain many other things. So let's go ahead and create one. Let's say,
I see Jean just joined us, so he'll really appreciate the title.
right. Yeah. So now we have here, and let's say prompt 1. And here's the point. Let's go ahead and say PRM1 is the hot string for it. This is a prompt. Save that. Let's add a second prompt. Let's use a different icon for that.
And keep in mind, this is still, we're very early in the process.
Right, in the process. So this is prompt 2. Now this one, instead of a hot string, is going to have a hotkey. So let's press Control-Shift-1. And this is the second prompt. Whatever it is, you can paste whatever you want there. Now we have one that has a hot string, one that has a hotkey. Of course, you can have one that has both. So let's go ahead and have another one. Three. Now this one is going to say PRM3, and Control-Shift-3. Save it. So now I have 3 things in ChatGPT. I save, and now when I see my menu, I will have different things. So as it is a work in progress, the icons are not showing up in the menu yet, but I already have the code for showing it in the list view and the tree view. So basically, I just have to add it there. You will notice now that at some point, if it has a hot string, it will show up here, the hotkey, or both. You can see that it has 2 things. It has the hotkey and the hot string. Now, again, if I go to any editor, I could just go ahead and select any of them. But the funny thing is that PRM1 should go ahead and show my prompt. So 3, of course, or pressing the hotkey should also go ahead and send the prompt. So it's really easy to set up. It's really easy to build your menu however you want. And it is really easy to set up the hotkeys, hot strings for them. And at any point, the next step, which is part of the biggest part that we're working on, is being able to say, hey, you see this menu for GPT prompts? I want to share that with another person. So I would like to just export that into something that you can then go ahead and import it into your menu. And that way we could actually go ahead and share your menu. It could be the whole menu. If you select main, it would just export the whole thing. Or if you select a sub menu, you can just export that one part of your
So imagine like I pick my Excel function library. I could build syntax that would call up each function with an example, and then I could easily give it to, I can make it available where you can just import it into your tool, right? And back, vice versa, right? As well as with the icons. And that was,
that was the main
I was
part.
telling them like, this is going to suck, but it has to happen, because the true power of this to me is it's going to be really handy, but the ability to share, that's what to me is the most critical part of this thing, that I can make it portable and give people chunks and they can import it very easily. And so I think it's got huge potential there.
I have a question for you. When you build up your menu, do you have a way of turning on and off the different hotkeys or whatever, or is it as soon as you add it, it's there permanently?
After the menu is built, so this part here.
So if you use any of those hotkeys, as long as that menu is running, if you use any of those hotkeys, it's gonna do it. You can't.
No, so remember that this part is sending text, right? So whatever I'm using right now, so this menu, when I click on it, for example, it sends text to the active window. If I press a hotkey, it is sending text to the active window. So if I have the menu open and I try to press a hotkey, nothing should happen, because it's trying to send text to a menu, and a menu doesn't do anything with it, right? So I'm not really sure I understand exactly what you're asking.
Okay, so it's only if the menu is open when you press the hotkey.
No. So the menu does not have to be open for you to press the hotkey. Right. No. So that
this is just Yeah,
Right,
they're
let me-
independent.
Right. So basically, let me just go ahead and reopen my toolkit. I actually closed it by mistake. So right now, close this up. If the menu is closed, I can go ahead and press the
Okay, yeah,
hotkey and
yeah.
it will send the thing. So it doesn't, the menu
So
does not
once you
have to
build
be
out,
open.
once you build out your menu, it's
Right.
as soon, if it's running, it's running.
Right, that is right. So as soon as I created it, now the part that I'm working on at the moment is editing. So they're already created. Hey, how about editing it? So
Ah.
that's the part that I have now a button that I would go ahead and allow you to change the hot string or hotkey, but that has its own problems because of course you have to deactivate the older one, right? But
Now you
those
have-
are the type of things that Sorry?
I don't see, I use something similar like this, but it's quite different, because I don't use hotkeys or anything like that. Would you be able to, just thinking that it might be helpful is if you have like you're able to turn off that particular branch.
so this whole branch. So say
Yes,
for
that
example,
branch, so you can disable the hotkeys for that branch.
That's not something that was
No.
in the beginning requirement. So probably
Or would I
that would be
actually?
a-
I wouldn't want
Right.
that personally. Yeah.
right. So that's something that basically at some
Hellbent,
point somebody will.
it's not that it's not a good idea.
No,
But
right.
to me, and this is what I'm glad John's here. It's like, and John's heard me for years now, right? This had to be a very, 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 very simple tool, right? Like that is the key. And originally when I started doing this knockoff, and I talked to John a lot about it, I'm like, okay, we'll have it do snippets and launch a program and open a folder. And that was it. And then I said, you know what? No,
Not even open.
not even
open a
that.
folder.
We're just going to do snippets, and that's it. That is my true
Right,
passion.
actually-
That's what I want this tool to do.
Right.
Now we have triggers to launch the snippets, the GUI,
Right.
hot string, the hotkey, but
But
that's all
that's
it
it.
does.
Right.
And-
Right now, we even had an option, for the launcher. We
Yeah.
commented
So you
that
don't-
out. So
So like you wouldn't have like a huge menu. You wouldn't build up a huge menu with this thing. You would just
oh yeah, you could.
I
So
don't-
you can
yeah.
build a huge menu. The only thing is that the menu is not having a lot of actions available. So
It's
right now
just
it just
snippets.
sending text.
yeah.
That's the only thing it does. Because for example, let's say that you wanted to add something that instead of sending text, it would launch a folder. So my toolkit has that option. For example, when I create a hotkey, you can either run a script, open a file, or open a folder. You see, so you have like 3 different actions. In the other tool, in this one that I'm working with, you don't have many actions. You can only send a text snippet. That's the only thing you can do. It's just for sending text to the active window. So yeah, of course we can add many other things like
You know what it is?
script or
Is
something like
I'm
that.
not a hotkey person, so every single time I write a script, pretty much if I'm using a couple of hotkeys, they're always the same hotkey. So there's always conflicts.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
right? So
exactly.
I guess I've seen some of Joe's hot string scripts, and they're I imagine if he uses that on the regular, then I don't think he would have a problem with a menu with that many items in it either. So yeah.
No,
But
that's
for me-
right. So
For me, I would get lost in hotkeys like in a minute.
yeah, we actually created this other tool. My hot string, well, my AutoHotkey toolkit, one of the parts of it was having the idea of, oh, I forgot about a hotkey. Let me see what that hotkey is. You see, so if I forgot about a hotkey, I can go ahead and search for it. We also created another tool that does exactly that. It goes through all of your running scripts and gives you a list of all the active hotkeys and the active hot strings. But basically, everybody who deals with hotkeys on a frequent basis has this issue of, what is the current hotkey for that one thing?
Okay.
Toolkit at the moment, for it to know about it, you have to create it with the toolkit. But the one that we created, the string lookup tool, allowed you to see that even if it was not created with the tool, it was for all your running instances at the moment. And I could actually demonstrate that real quick. If anybody has questions, go ahead and ask about them, right?
I think it was, Pradeep said he had a question.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that. What is your question?
Basically,
Can you get closer to your
first
microphone?
of-
Oh, there. That was a
yeah,
little. Thank you.
okay. So first of all, I would like to appreciate you guys because I'm trying to figure it out information about the AutoHotkey, but yeah, the channel, the Automator was the too informative for me. Yeah, apart from this, my question is basically how to detect the text cursor, like text cursor basically.
I
It's
understand.
not a mouse cursor.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah.
referring to. Yes, don't worry. There is a variable in AutoHotkey that you can keep track of that will tell you exactly that. So let me share my screen real quick.
Is
Yeah.
is that a built-in variable?
Yes, it is. I'm
But
gonna
we
go
should-
ahead and show that. Yeah,
Yeah, but we have our
that's exactly, yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what
Sorry.
I'm gonna show you. Don't worry.
Cool.
So we have this built-in variable viewer tool that we have at the moment. We're building that up. And one of the things, what it does is that it goes ahead and lists all the available variables, built-in variables, and it lets you see what their current value is. One of the things that I'm going to do is that I will kind of like try to make it so that it updates every certain time, because there's some variables that change between them, but it also allows you to kind of like search for stuff here. And you might see that there's one, I could just say search for that. There's the A cursor. Now, the interesting thing, that's the problem with the tool right now. As it is not updating, it's not showing what the current value is. So when the script started, there was no value in it. It was just app starting, but I need to update this. A cursor, by the way, and actually that's something that I would want to do, is just copy the variable name now. If I double click it.
Actually, I
How to copy
tried
that?
a underscore cursor, but it didn't work for me. So
Let me show you, because the problem with this is, let's do this. Let's set a timer. Every
basically,
50
the thing
milliseconds.
is, I'm a PWD person, so most of the work I handle by my one hand. So on the mouse, I have one extra button. So when the cursor, like the text cursor appear, the automatically the what we say, the mic
Right.
Windows H button press like that.
Let me see if this is what you were looking for. So now
Yeah.
you're saying, here's my cursor, which is an arrow at the moment, right? As soon as I go to any place where I could type, which is what you were asking for. So for example, if you're in an edit control, the cursor changes to an I-beam is the name of it. So you could have a timer like this for 10 milliseconds. And if the cursor is an I-beam, means that you are in an editable control. So for example, if I go here,
Actually,
you couldn't
I
do that.
did the same thing.
So what is the
But,
problem?
The problem is when you are on web page, the I-beam cursor is automatically appears.
Hmm?
The text field is not on the web page.
So it's not active. I understand. So you cannot really type
Yeah,
yet.
exactly that one.
Okay, then at that point, what you can do, if the cursor is so if the A cursor equals, so let's go ahead and go for I-beam, right? The next thing that I would do is take the control under the mouse. So mouse get position. I think the X and Y are the things that I have there. X, Y,
You want
and then
position.
the control, right? So what I want to do, let me do something. Let's just do it this way. Because you can get the status of whether the control has focus or not. So this is what I want. I do not care about the flag. I do not care about the window. I do not care about the Y. I do not care about the X. The only thing that I want to get is the control. And now that I get that, you can get control focus. I think control get focus. This is what you want to do. So in it, in the win title, I think you can say the HK PID, and the PID, I want to get the second here because I want the handle of the control. So this usually says you can compare which control has the handle, for example, and see if the control that you're getting is the one that you have right here. So this is my control. I also want to have the active Windows handle. So let me make it this is the handle. And if the control under the mouse is the same as the handle that is focused, then we get what we wanted. Not sure if you understand. So then at this point, we are in edit mode. So I can get the cursor to be an I-beam. Then I check which control is under the mouse. So that would be this guy. And if it is the one that has focus at the moment, so that means it's editable, then I can work with it. So let's say so let's try that. Let's try that out. Let's not have this guy. Let's have it also here. Let's see if that works. So I would try to, there it is. So look at this. If I run it, I don't get tooltips. Even if I'm in I-beam, you see that? I don't have a tooltip, even if the I-beam is being shown. When I click on it, now it says I-beam is in edit mode. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So this is a quick way of me checking not only that the I-beam, the cursor is correct, but also that the edit control where I'm at, it is actually the, so let me do this. Is not. Okay, let's try it. It's not in edit mode, not in edit mode, right? But when I click, it is in edit mode. If I go out, now it's, let me see, it's not in edit mode. So I can tell whether the control that I'm actually at right now is in editable mode, and that should work anywhere else. So for example, it's not in edit mode here, but well, in a browser, it's not going to be easy, but let's go to Notepad, for example, continue. So I am in edit mode here. Let me see if I could remove focus from it. I can't remove focus from it. It's not in edit mode here. Here it is. It's not in edit mode on Notepad, but as soon as I click on it, it is in edit mode. You see that? So yes, I could definitely really quickly tell. If you want, I can send this code on the chat so that you can play with it a little bit more. And then you can go from there. Does that help you?
Yeah, really.
Perfect. So let's go to the chat. Oh, now I cannot. Here it is, the share. Anybody else has any questions? Let me share that in the gist.
Yeah, I have another. Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah, sure. Let me just 1 second.
And Isaiah, just for a quick demonstration, just because I was someone, I think it was Major initially suggested it'd be cool to kind of be able to pin in our tool with the variables to say, okay, I want to watch these and have them, you know, constantly being updated, but showing what's there. And I said, hey, it's not the same thing, but VS Code, I've seen you say, I want to watch these variables, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not the
Basically.
built-in variables, which I don't know if you
No.
could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that for a built-in
Okay.
variable as well, I think. Yeah.
That might be a fun little demo. So,
I just sent the link on the chat for whoever needs it.
I'll throw
It
it
has
into YouTube. Yeah.
right. Now, what is the next question? I'm sorry.
Why don't you real quickly, just because we're talking about it, show the VS Code of how you pin the variables where
Yeah.
you can keep monitoring them.
Sure.
And then I think maybe Pradeep had another question. Were you?
Yeah.
Someone
He
else
mentioned that he wanted something.
Okay, sorry for cutting you off, but
Yeah.
this will be quick.
So
Yeah. So once you have a script running, let's say that I am here, you put a break, and basically for anybody who is dealing with VS Code or any tool that actually is, what is this? What is this? What is this? All right. So there's something going on with however I did it. If you want to stop and watch or do any debugging on the debugging session, you have to have a breakpoint. And once the script stops, that's when you can actually take a look at the stuff. So here on the top, you can see the current variables, and at the bottom, you can actually call specific variables that you want to watch. So let's add a script there, for example, or if I want to check one of mine, let's check what TV ID is. And again, if it is not stopped, you cannot see those. So now if I click on the add window, now the script is stopped right here, and you will see that a script directory has whatever I'm looking for. And at the bottom, the TV ID is empty still. So when I go down, let's stop right about here. Now, when I step in, now the TV ID changed its value. So you can track whatever variable you're interested in knowing what the heck is going on just by copying it, adding a plus here, paste it. Now I know what value that is. So this is a very interesting part of debugging. And of course, here you can find them all, but there's so many that you don't want to, you know, kind of like, hey, let's find it. No, if you care about one in particular, just add it into your watch list, and now you're tracking just that one variable. It doesn't matter where it is. So that was a very interesting part of okay. So let's go ahead and hear your other question.
I saw it in Zoom chat. I think he says, how to get suggestions from Windows, time, and language typing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Windows.
basically, I'm looking for the auto suggestion. Whenever you type little, so automatically some suggestion are default from the Windows also. So if I press the tab button, I need a automatically the first or second word as per the tab request.
Let
Is
me
it
see.
possible?
Let me see if I understand. So let's go to Windows, time and language, typing. Let me share my screen real quick again. Which interestingly, it seems to be that Zoom finally listened to my prayers. Now the escape key does not show the Zoom meeting controls automatic. Oh no, they are there. Oh, come on. It's just that it's not working for whatever reason. Something is blocking Zoom from doing what I hate it doing. So I don't know what it is. So I'm here. I'm in time language. Now you are asking about, let me see this real quick. Nope, here. You're asking time and language typing. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So time and language, I don't see typing here. I see speech, language, maybe
There
keyboard.
is, well, there is where it has, I don't know if he's referring to like the assist typing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's referring to exactly the same thing, but I think that is in accessibility or ease of access.
Because I remember I turned it on, I found it, I turned it on for like an hour, and I'm like, this is.
And then, yeah, you didn't like it.
Because it was one word at a time, and I'm like, it's just not worth the one word.
Right. So let's see. Predict. Is it predict or text suggestions? There it is. So this is in typing. Where is that? Ah, here. All right. So show text suggestions as I type. So I can do that. And now when I type, so do I have to save this up? No, as soon as I do that, it should do it, right?
Yeah, sometimes it works later. I'm not sure. Maybe you can try it in Notepad.
What I know about this thing. No. So soft keyboard. There's the how's it called, the software? Ah, that's interesting. I know that you can show on-screen keyboard. Here we go. So if I have this guy, so here are the suggestions that we were having up here. So this is for typing, and then it says
Not exactly.
So this is that one, right?
Share screen.
Yeah.
Is it
So
possible
go
to
ahead.
drop a screenshot here?
No, you can actually go ahead and share your screen and show me, because it's not showing up on my computer for whatever reason.
That would be great.
I have probably something disabled that is not, or probably I have to just restart my computer.
Actually, where is sharing button? Zoom.
Yeah, setting. You have to go to where all the cameras are, like all the images for the cameras are, and you will see a green button that says share, or you will see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
here is the show suggestion when you typing the physical keyboard option.
Yeah, this is different. Okay, time and language typing. Oh, which version is this? Is this Windows 7?
It's
sorry,
Windows 11.
Windows 11. Sorry. Yeah, that's the
And
reason why I
whenever you
didn't find it in the same place. Okay, go.
Yeah.
All right. So you have these guys.
Yeah. So automatically I need this one. Whenever I press a tab.
No, that's not going to work.
This one. Yeah,
right. How about
every time
how about with the
do,
arrow keys?
Yeah. So whenever you like you are typing, so you need to use the arrow key. So it's hard to be like select each time up and down, right, left, like that.
But
So
you have to use.
like.
Sorry, is the up and down working, or the arrow keys are working? So can you use the arrow keys? What happens with the arrow keys?
Yeah, basically, it's like I'm looking for the whenever you're typing a mail. So auto suggestion are appear there when you press a tab. Automatically,
right, but listen to me. Okay, so yes, I understand what you want to do. What I'm asking is, Now that you have the window open, if you use the arrow keys, does that
Yeah.
select the next word?
Yeah.
Let me see it. Do it. No, it doesn't. So
No, no,
can
yeah, it's okay. Actually, it worked. I tried it earlier.
so you cannot use
Yeah,
the
okay.
arrow.
Up key and then right, left. Look.
So you have to do the up key first.
Yeah. And
Okay,
then
so
left, right.
So let's do this. What I want to do is capture the tab, send an up and then the right and then enter. Can you hit enter now? Can you hit enter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this. So if you press the up key, the up arrow,
Yeah.
did you hit the up arrow? Now hit enter. Right. So this is what you're going to do. Without a hotkey, use the tab as a hotkey. And when you hit the tab as a hotkey, it should send the up arrow and the enter key. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So that's totally easy to do. The only thing is you would want to just do that if this window is active. You cannot just do that whenever
Exactly.
you want. So now
So
so you would have to, do you have any scripts that you can execute? The Windows spy tool. Yeah. I need him to run any script so I can access the Windows spy tool. Do you have any other hotkey scripts that you can run?
yeah, wait a second.
All right. So there we go. So now hover over that guy. Ooh, that does that. So move the mouse, put it at the beginning of that.
Actually, I tried. It didn't work. So I figure it out with the accessibility. Those kind of stuff you guys showed up earlier. So I thought
That's interesting. This is the first time I see a window that does not have that the Windows Spy cannot see it. And that is also not seeing it. Okay, I was gonna say it's not seeing it.
Try to run it in administrator.
Sorry.
Maybe you have try to run the Windows Spy with administrator privilege.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, true.
okay.
So for that, you would have to go to the AutoHotkey folder where the Windows Spy is at, where you installed AutoHotkey.
Yeah.
Right click on it, run as admin, and see if that helps.
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the first things always to do, right? It's just try launching it as admin to rule that out.
Right. Yeah. So if you go back, you should have a Windows Spy thing on the right, almost the last icon in there. The last, yeah, that's right click on it, run as admin. Let's see if that has.
You have a warning, probably some. Okay.
Yeah. So let's try that. That's an interesting one.
Basically,
No, this is the
all
interesting part.
programs are open with the only administrative rights.
No. So here's the interesting thing. So when you hovered before, I did see that you have this AHK class application frame window. The only problem is that's for every single program out there, I think. Can you move to on Notepad? Where's Notepad? Can you hover? Or yeah, there. So that's okay. How about I think this application frame window is, can you give me control for a second, please? I just requested control. Let me see something, because this part right here, there might be some hidden, oh, come on. Where did you go? The whole thing, copy it. That might be a hidden character there. Probably there's nothing, but here's the thing. Yeah, what I'm thinking is that this class, there might be other programs with that class also. Maybe the you know what, the text. So let's see here. Oh God, I don't see any text being shown. All text, visible text. There's nothing there. So I do not see a way for you to really accurately find that, but you could just do this. Just let's do this. Tab, right? Are you using AutoHotkey version 2? I think you are. You are?
But yeah,
If-
still I'm confused.
I don't know if that is active or if it exists. I don't think it is active. When exists, we're gonna have this guy here and just the whole thing. Let's make it here.
Could we have a tool like Process Explorer or something running and then see if the listed programs change when it pops up?
That's a good question. So then I would send.
The other thing that I was going to throw out there was perhaps there's an actual COM object where we can actually use the methods without even, working with this. Maybe there's a way to access it directly.
That would be great if there is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is the idea. You would use the tab as a hotkey. So you're going to capture it.
Yeah.
If that thing exists, then you would send the up and enter keys. Let me close that up.
Just give us a second. So I'll give you the VS Code. So you can directly try it here. So here is the code. Yeah. You can try here. So directly, is it work? Because I tried earlier, it didn't work for me.
So this didn't work. Is this
Yeah.
what you're saying? So you
Yeah.
tried this. Can you
But-
go back to can you bring VS Code here?
Yeah, here it is.
So let me do something. So this is the one that you're trying. Is this the? Can
Yeah,
you give
this
me?
one is the another one. But yeah,
So let's just try here. So you say here, we can close this up for now or minimize it. And ooh, what the heck? Oh, can you minimize the?
yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So if you do, I find it interesting that you say that you cannot do, ooh, what the heck? Why is it? Okay. That should at least do the thing. So if you run this script, if you run it, right. So right now I should get tabs anyways. Why is it doing that? What the heck? Is this version, is this V1? I think, yeah, this is AutoHotkey V1. That's why. Even though that's interesting. No, you have the tab. Did you get a message box somewhere saying true?
Yeah.
All right. So it is
Let's just
sending.
say that.
Why isn't it sending the tab actually? That's so weird.
That was a okay. It's stuck. Is it possible to relaunch?
Yeah. So just
Yeah,
All right.
it's appear.
hold on. Let me remove this one here. Because that didn't make any sense. Did you get a message box now saying tab?
Yeah.
All right, so
Send
that should send the tab. The only thing is that I'm not sure why it's not sending the actual tab. All right, so let me just, yeah. So send tab, oh, because this thing should be so that it doesn't fall into that trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Right, there we go. So this is sending tab normally. Fine.
Okay, let's try.
Now let's go here, right? Say this. Oh, where is the?
It didn't appear. Oh,
Where did it go?
yeah, exactly. This, it's, as I mentioned, it happens. Sometimes it appears or sometimes it is.
Oh, that's interesting. Can you close Notepad and reopen it? Maybe that. That's a funny one. Okay. So what I would say, let's keep it at that. I just gave you kind of like an idea of what I would do.
Yeah.
The problem, if this doesn't work, then I cannot really tell you much about it, because the part is how to know that that window exists. And instead of, taking the whole time just answering that one question, let's see if anybody else has any other questions that they might need help with.
Sure.
At least I give you, I gave you something to at least start up, right?
Yeah, look.
You got it, right? Okay, so now if you hit tab, it's not really, okay. So somehow this title is not enough for it to be, and I'm just asking if it exists. It's not even if it is that window. So, that's interesting. I would have to figure out how that window can be detected, and if
It honestly might be easier to just find a tool that does the auto assist typing and then do your own.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, you can just create your own, is what is gonna happen. Like, but at this point, like, what I'm saying, like, you can create your own is in the sense of you can make it so that anytime somebody types something, it displays a little GUI that just displays a few options in it. So it is,
and there are some AutoHotkey tools already built out there that do much of this.
Right. Now,
List is a really popular one that it's a bit too advanced for what I like.
Oh, look at this. Hold on. Look at that. Windows input experience. You see that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that is the text of a control. No, but a control. So that is interesting because it's not even a window. So as soon as I try typing, that guy here, I can tell you what so maybe I could find a control with that text. That's going to be a very big search, basically. It's not that easy. So this particular problem is weird because the application is not a normal application. And I think this is going to happen more and more in Windows 11, in the sense of Windows 11 is changing a lot of things. Even this guy, this Notepad control is not the normal Notepad. And you will see that here on the class NN, you do not have an edit control anymore. You have a reach edit, right? So now a lot of examples that we had that use Notepad as, the example, it's not going to work quite the same because the whole thing is different. So it looks similar, but it's not really the same. So yeah. Anybody else has any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is interesting that you mentioned this with the Notepad, because one of the things that I'm going to talk about in the next session in the HK Heroes group is how the message box window really works, how you can actually fake it. And the reason why you would want to fake it is because sometimes the message box window doesn't give you enough control. And sometimes you want to create your own message box with the controls and icons that you want. So there's a few interesting things that I'm going to talk about how those controls that are created fake it. And for example, this is an example of, yeah, they changed the Notepad editor. How did they change it? Well, you have to understand how it works in order for you to change it. In our case, we're going to talk about the message box and how you can definitely change it around or build your own. What did you want to say? Sorry.
Yes. So, could you just suggest me how can we access the Windows local program? So I tried it like this way, but I'm not sure is it right or wrong. So give me a small suggestion if you can. I'll try.
You mean like
that way.
this thing? Oh, right. You can go to your registry settings to see what that menu actually do, because probably just running that. So did you try just double clicking that file? So if you go to that location in the driver store and double click on GFX UIEX, does that bring the thing that you're looking for or not?
Yeah, basically, I need to change my profile.
I understand, but what I mean is like you asked how to open this window, right?
Yeah,
Did running that file opens this window or not?
yeah, it works. But when I'm trying to click on the display option,
Yeah, the problem is that this is not a GUI. This is actually,
Yeah.
it looks like Internet Explorer. So this is a website. Now, at that point, you can try with accessibility controls. So with the
So-
UIA,
so I access like this way.
mhm,
But it like find first by name. It didn't appear anything.
right. But at this point, let me see, hold on. So let me see.
Yeah, it's little slow because
Right. Let me see something. Yeah, you might not be able to do that what you want.
no, the
Oh, you
basically
can
the
try.
accessibility tool are I did a little slow, so you can increase the speed even. Let me say that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you actually made it slower. Okay. So let's try that.
Highlighter need to go.
Oh, hold on. Is it on? Is it working? So let's see.
Yeah.
So now it's working. And now if I do this. No, sometimes you have to restart accessibility. So can you close it
Okay.
and reopen it? Because it happens to me that sometimes it doesn't just.
Yeah. Before 5 minutes ago, it's updated. Since that, it having same issue.
Mhm.
Hey, Isaias,
Yeah.
just because I saw Geek Dude just joined, can you really quickly go back to just, I'd love if he can take a quick look at what we were trying to do and see if he has any suggestions of that.
With what?
Just grabbing the GUI that had the auto control.
Right. Okay.
Auto text.
Right. Okay. So at this point, by the way, so this is interesting. You can find it like that. And in your case here, see, it says find first by name. Yeah, that's what I would do. But you say that you couldn't do it. But let me go back to this because we don't have much time. So let me do this real quick. We had this window popping up, right? And we're trying to capture whether that window exists or not. We were using the Windows Spy tool to try to get that. But what happens is that the information we get, let me just, hold on. Let me just stop capturing. Window. Right. So at this point, the information I get is too generic. I think there are many other programs that will have that.
Yeah.
It still couldn't be captured. When I use the code for it, when I use the code for trying to capture that particular window, it doesn't find it as if it exists. That's one of the problems. The second of all is kind of like, yeah, I don't even have a class and then or whatever. I do have a control there, but it only has some text in it. The window doesn't have any text visible or otherwise. So I'm like, okay, how can we capture that guy? Because just using let me show you there. So I'm using the class and the Explorer window, whatever it is, it doesn't find it. Whenever I hit tab, it just sends the tab. It doesn't find the window. I'm checking if the window exists, by the way, but it doesn't work. So is there anything that might come to mind to try to capture windows that don't really exist in the normal sense of the world? This is Windows 11, by the way, just if there's anything that.
Did you see his chat?
Actually, earlier I tried it on Windows 10 also, but I have the same issue. But
I will see if I can make it pop up on my machine, and if I can, then I will try it, but I haven't been able to do that. We do have a call in like 3 minutes. Gig Dude, anything pops to mind?
He put something in the chat. I don't know if it was
Oh, right,
specific
let me
to
see.
that, but he mentioned IE chooser Google, and then something about ActiveX. I don't think that's an ActiveX thing though. I'd be amazed if it was.
But I think this IE chooser, that's the graphical dev tools for browser controls. So you're suspecting that is actually a browser control. Is that it? You're suspecting that even if it looks like a little window or whatever, you think that that's a browser control. Okay, we will see on that. Yeah, after this, if I get any other information, then we will talk about it next Friday.
sure.
Yeah, because in general, I'm not really sure about that one, and the basic ways of us getting that is not really working. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually gonna do a little intro to GUIs. Not intro, but covering some interesting stuff with GUIs in the hero call that we're jumping into right now. But thanks everyone for being here. And I hope you're having an awesome weekend. Thanks so much. I hope you got someone, MD, something was asking about he couldn't see inside of a certain program with I forget it was an edit field or what, but he can't share his screen and he couldn't tell me anything about the program. And I'm like,
That's
limits
complicated. Yeah, that's complicated.
Yeah, really hard to help. But I
Yeah.
gave him a link to the 17 ways to automate with AutoHotkey, which just gives you an idea that the problem is there's so many different ways. We just start going down a list, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
Right? We'll
Yeah.
start here, check the next one, check the next one, check the next one, until that video helps understand reliability, ease of programming with it, or difficulty depending how you look at it, and consistency, and trying to be more of a API approach instead of imitating a human, which is more unreliable, right? It has a lot more problems. So
That's right.
awesome. Thank you all for being here. If you haven't already liked the video, I appreciate it. We get a lot more views when we have people liking the video. And heroes, you guys know where to go. We'll see you there soon. Thank you all. Have an awesome weekend.